You look like you have troubles. Something on your mind there?
Well, no, not really. Just, lost in my thoughts. Thinking about an old friend.
Oh?
He passed away, unfortunately, a while back.
I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, my name is Armand. Would you have some time to spare? I have quite a story to tell about him.
Sure. Tell me about him.
He was a reporter. A firm believer that the pen was mightier than the sword. A do-gooder. Believed he could save people by exposing the evils and hypocrisies of society. Naive, maybe, but full of determination.
Being naive's better than having no ideals at all.
Agreed. At first, he was just a regular beat reporter for a local paper. His articles were mainly about the local stores and great discounts they were offering that week. You know, little tidbits to help people out in their daily lives. As you can tell, nothing worthy of the front page. But one day, a great opportunity fell into his lap.
He got assigned a big story.
You're one step ahead of me. But that's enough storytelling for one day. The rest will have to wait for another time.
Hey, are you ready to tell me more about your friend? His story's pretty intriguing.
Oh, you're back. I knew you couldn't stay away forever. I wager you're dying to hear the rest of my friend's story. Now, where were we? Oh, right. He'd gotten transferred to a department that handled big stories and was given a huge one himself. It was a bribery case in Yusnaan. The woman suspected of the crime held quite a high position in the order.
Corruption at the very top of the church hierarchy, huh? Sounds like a pretty big story, all right.
It was indeed. Quite scandalous, actually. My friend pursued the case with a vengeance and published articles about it every day to keep the public informed of the facts. The woman was subjected to heavy criticism. A little too much, in fact. Turns out my friend was right about one thing. The saying is true. The pen is mightier than the sword. Unable to cope, she killed herself.
That must have been tragic for your friend. But he simply told the truth, that's all.
Well, the real tragedy is what followed. Shortly after her death, a document was uncovered. This document provided invaluable evidence in the case. It exonerated her of her crime. She was innocent.
So the articles written by your friend drove an innocent person to take her own life?
Yes, and he couldn't bear such a burden. I mean, who could? I'll have to tell you the rest of the story at another time. Oh, it's you again. Thank you for taking such an interest in my friend's story.
Who wouldn't? A young reporter driven by a passion for truth pursues a major case of corruption, ultimately driving an innocent woman to commit suicide. But the story's not over yet, is it? I'm curious, what happens next?
He was beyond distraught. Nothing could console him. He came to realize that the pen really was mightier than the sword. And he had used his sword to punish the wrong person. And then he... I can't continue like this. I just can't. I need to tell you the truth. He... or rather, I... thought death was the only form of penance.
I suspected you may be hiding something.
I apologize. I've been lying to you this entire time. I had no such friend. The reporter, the one who killed the innocent woman, that was me.
I had a feeling. The way you've been telling the story seems to be hitting a little too close to home.
The reporter in me died long ago. I handed in my letter of resignation immediately, of course. Along with my life as a writer, I buried my precious pen. The burial ground is now a storage area somewhere in Old Town. Underneath the dirt lies the tool of my trade, and a part of myself.
So why tell me this now? What's the point in dredging up the past? It can't be easy for you.
To tell you the truth, I don't really know. I guess guess I've been wanting to tell someone before it was too late. People need to know what happened. As a warning, if nothing else.
Too late? You're not thinking of...
No. I've been dead for a long time now. The day I quit my job is the day I quit being me. That's the day I quit living. You see, I'm as good as dead. I'm nothing more than an empty shell of a person. I want to thank you for listening to my story. You have no idea how much I appreciate you lending your ear. Now, I have no regrets.
It looks like one of those old-fashioned pens. It also looks like someone deliberately buried it here. I'll bet this belongs to Armand. It must be the pen he gave up when he quit writing. I have something that might belong to you.
You found my pen. During my days as a reporter, I never went anywhere without it. It was a gift from one of my fans.
Doesn't this pen remind you of a time you wanted to help people? When you were still naive, but fiercely determined?
Yes, long ago, when I wanted justice for the world. But I realized my pen is a deadly weapon. My writing is lethal. I wasn't aware of my own powers. That's what drove an innocent woman to take her life. And that's why I quit my job as a reporter and threw away this pen. Do you know how it feels to have someone's death on your conscience? The only way to make this right was to quit what I love most.
So what did you fix?
Huh?
When you threw away your career and gave up on the world, quit on life, how did any of that help anyone? Did that make anything right? It was just an excuse for you to run and hide from your past.
Then what am I to do? Writing is the only thing I ever knew. But it never occurred to me that my passion could end up hurting those around me. My prized treasure turned out to be a weapon.
The pen can harm people, but it can also protect the public.
You think I should start writing again? I don't know if I could do that. Or should do that.
You should, if you truly want to make things right. You've learned something important, the power and influence your writing has. People grow by learning from their mistakes. It's impossible to forget what happened in the past, but use that knowledge and do what only you can do.
Do you really think I can? All right, I'll do it. Starting over will be tough, but I'll try. You've returned my pen to me, but what's more, you've given me hope again. Thank you. Thank you.